Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you very late tonight for a season 2, episode 2 review. I was almost forgetting my train of thought for a brief moment. For House of the Dragon, season 2, episode 2 for House of the Dragon. So I'm going to discuss what I watched for the second episode of season 2 and let you know my thoughts on this hour and 20-minute episode. So let's dive into this episode review. Now, this was probably the longest episode I've seen. Well, not the longest, but it was long. For episode 2, but honestly, I think it was better than the first one. First one was alright. I mean, granted, the first one was kind of meh. It wasn't one of the best episodes I've seen to start off for a season 2 premiere. But it was okay for what it went for. I just tried to follow the story for episode 1, and if I were to officially give it a score now, I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. It was, it's in between meh and okay for episode 1. So, episode 2 actually had a lot of interesting points in this story. You find out that Rhaenyra finds out that Daemon was behind Jaehaerys' death, which is the little boy Aegon's child, apparently. And this stuff doesn't get fully explained too much until you get thrown into the episode, and you'll be like, oh, so that's Aegon and Helena are married or something. So it's just little breadcrumbs that get thrown into the episodes and for each episode, and it explains as it goes. So it's interesting, and this episode was a lot better. I think it's a good episode. It's better than the first episode, I'll tell you that. Because the first episode, most of it was very dull and boring, but then you get into the what is it, the final act of the first episode, and that was pretty fucked up. From what I heard from the books, it's more fucked up from what I was told by a family member of mine. But pretty much, I think this episode was very entertaining. There were some fight scenes towards the end of the episode, and most of the story kind of drew you in and kept you interested. Aegon was really upset that his kid was killed and all that. His son was killed, so he said, I declare war and all that in this episode, and pretty much the hand of the king, Otto Hightower, actually steps down from being hand of the king in this episode, and then you find out that Daemon's going on his own for a while because Rhaenyra found out about he was behind the kid's death. He was technically going for Aemond, but it was the wrong person he killed, unfortunately, is what he said. He said it was a mistake. I'm like, well, you didn't seem too sorry about it. Matt Smith did put on a great performance with his character, Daemon Targaryen. So he can pull it off with these kinds of characters. Emma D'Arcy, or Emma Darcy, actually performed very well as Rhaenyra in this episode, and Olivia Cook, I don't know, her performance has been hit or miss with these episodes. The guy that plays Otto Hightower, his performance was really good in this episode. I was really impressed with the certain point in this episode where he snaps at King Aegon. So pretty much in this episode, you see the brother Eric and his other twin fighting in this episode, and they kill each other. So basically, one dies and the other one commits suicide. So it's pretty sad what happens. And he says, "Your grace, forgive me," and then he offs himself in a way. So he was really disappointed to have to kill his own brother in the name of loyalty or allegiance or something like that for who he's serving and who the other brother's serving. So pretty much entertaining episode. It was a lot better in my opinion. But if I were to give this one a score, I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of 10. This one is for sure an 8.5 out of 10. The first episode, it was okay, but it could have been a lot better for the first episode. But you get your hits and misses with certain episodes, but it's still going to bring down the rating for season 2's rating for how the rest of the season's going to perform. But overall, pretty entertaining episode for the second one, and I was really invested in it a lot more than the first. The first one was kind of boring. So with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed episode 2 review for House of the Dragon, and thanks for watching this House of the Dragon Season 2 Episode 2 review tonight. Have a good night.